I did not choose life. I suddenly was. Like most honest people, especially as we grow older, I am often troubled by doubt, by fear of the unknown, and yes, by death. As I approach the later years of my life, questions I once avoided now demand answers. What happens after this? Does suffering mean anything? Does love survive death? Or does it simply end? These questions became unavoidable when my wife died. Her absence reshaped everything. My faith did not suddenly become easy or certain. It became necessary. What follows is not an argument. It is not an attempt to convince. It is simply an account of what I have found and am still finding as I try to make sense of my existence. For much of my life, faith meant morality. Be decent, do what is right, accept that one day there will be a reckoning. God, in my mind, was a judge, distant, watching, keeping score. This way of thinking helped me live responsibly, but it did not help me face death, and it could not help me understand suffering, especially the suffering of someone I loved. I searched for explanations. I examined ideas of karma, rebirth, second chances across multiple lives. They made sense on paper, but not in the heart. What changed me was not certainty, but grace. The radical Christian idea that grace is not earned, not accumulated, not delayed, but given. That reconciliation with God is not a cosmic repayment plan stretched across lifetimes, but an encounter available now. Time, guilt, and redemption are not endlessly recycled. They're gathered into one life, the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. This did not remove my questions, but it gave them a home. For me, Catholicism is not a label, not cultural, not political. The word Catholic simply means universal. I have attended Mass in many countries, languages, and cultures, and everywhere quietly, faithfully, the same mystery unfolds. The language changes, the music changes, but the structure remains. The readings, the prayers, the Eucharist. This sameness is not monotony, it is continuity. It tells me that what matters is not personality or charisma, but truth carried faithfully across time and space. The Mass expresses three things with clarity. First, that existence is not accidental. That consciousness is summoned into being by a creator who invites, but does not coerce. Second, that this creator is personal, not an abstract force, but one who desires relationship with us and among us. And third, that there are real embodied ways of entering this relationship, through worship, through praise, and through physical communion. I do not believe this by sentiment alone. I believe it because I have lived long enough to know that love is the only thing that endures. When everything else falls away, success, ambition, pride, love remains. And love demands meaning beyond death. The Catholic Mass does not ignore suffering. It does not pretend joy is constant, or that pain signals a failure of faith. At the center of every Catholic church stands a crucifix, not an empty symbol, but a wounded body. This matters. It tells me that God did not explain suffering from a safe distance. He entered it. The Creator took on flesh, lived among us, suffered, died, and in doing so, transformed suffering into sacrifice, not meaningless pain, but love offered for others. That is not comforting in a shallow way, but it is honest. I used to think ritual was unnecessary, even distracting. Now I understand that human beings need more than ideas. We need gestures, silence, sacred space. Across all civilizations, from ancient temples to modern churches, humanity has always marked certain places as holy, not because stone is divine, but because we are embodied creatures seeking transcendence. When I enter a Catholic church, I step out of noise. I kneel. I am reminded that life is not centered on me. This humility is not weakness, it is clarity. The Eucharist remains the heart of everything, not a symbol only, but a participation. The idea that God offers himself not merely to be believed in, but to be received physically, intimately, is staggering. It is either absurd or it is true. And if it is true, then it explains existence in a way nothing else ever has for me. I remain a person who doubts. I still question. I still wrestle, but I am no longer lost. My faith no longer rests on fear of punishment, but on the reality of love, not on moral bookkeeping, but on grace. Catholicism has given me a language for grief, a place for silence, and a hope that love is not mocked by death. That is why, with all my questions still intact, I am glad to be a Catholic.